This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
You may be eligible for some extra money. The city of St. Louis reaches a settlement with remote workers who paid the city's earnings tax during the pandemic. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. The settlement applies to non-city residents who have jobs in St. Louis but work remotely. 5 on your side's Justina Cornell is live downtown with the details of how you can make a claim, Justina.
Well, attorneys believe more than 100,000 people may be impacted. And if you're eligible, you can apply July 1st, and then there will be a 90-day window to do so.
It's $800 plus or minus.
Mark Bowles didn't want to leave money on the table. Every year, Bowles filed for a return on the 1% earnings tax.
At the time, I was working only in the office 2 days a week, and I had been doing that for a number of years.
The pandemic came with changes, including his earnings tax refund.
The next email I got was, go pound sand, we're not giving your money back.
He lawyered up with Beavis Schock and Mark Milton. 5 other plaintiffs joined as well.
At the time, I wasn't really upset about the amount of money. It was the principle of the thing.
Recently, the Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the group, saying the city cannot charge the 1% earnings tax on non-city residents whose work is performed from locations outside the city. A settlement was made, and the city has agreed to pay everyone for their remote work throughout the pandemic through a refund application. The city has reserved $26 million to pay for refunds.
And that is the form that taxpayers must submit for each year. It's a separate form is required for each year.
Gregory Daly, collector of revenue, said, quote, "My office, along with the city, chose to fight this lawsuit because we believed our actions were consistent with the terms of the statute and the right thing to do on behalf of the people of the city of St. Louis." He added, "We respect the court's decision and have put in place a simple process compliant with the court's order." So who can apply? If you're a non-city resident whose job is in the city, worked remote for the years 2020 through 2022, and if those apply, there will be a 90-day window to apply for a refund.
We are strongly encouraging the public to file for these refunds. I mean, it's money sitting on the ground for people to pick up.
In reaction to all this, the city of St. Louis is hosting a news conference Monday afternoon. Now, if you want to learn more information, you can head to our website, kstk.com, and go to this section as seen on TV. Reporting live, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The Supreme Court's ruling that strikes down a ban on gun bump stocks does not affect a similar ban in Illinois. A bump stock is a rapid-fire gun accessory that allows semi-automatic rifles to fire more quickly. The High Court ruled the Trump administration didn't follow a federal law when it banned them in 2017. The ruling also says the Justice Department wrongly classified bump stocks as illegal machine guns. In this case, Illinois' law is not superseded by federal law because the state legislature passed the state's ban.
We're getting details about a sad story in St. Charles County. A 9-year-old boy is dead after being hit by a car. It happened just before noon today at Harmony and Vine in O'Fallon. The boy died after being taken to a hospital. Police say the 19-year-old driver stopped and is cooperating. A man is dead after drowning in a neighborhood retention pond. It happened this morning in an unincorporated area of St. Charles County between Weldon Spring and Cottleville. 5 on your side's Megan Kernan joins us live there with how this has impacted the community. Megan.
And this retention pond behind me in the Walnut Creek subdivision is where police say 44-year-old Darren Hudson, a man with special needs, drowned earlier this morning.
At first looked like he was swimming until it didn't.
A tragedy shocks an entire St. Charles County neighborhood. A neighbor who didn't want to go on camera tells me she was on her dock as 44-year-old Darren Hudson entered the pond. Fishermen in the pond at the time witnessed the whole thing as well.
He looked like he was just swimming, and then he started to struggle, and I went out onto my deck and saw commotion between fishermen. They were, telling us to call 911, so I called 911.
Minutes later, rescue crews recovered Hudson's body.
His family members were looking for him already when this tragedy occurred.
Hudson's family says he had special needs. Corporal Barry Bills says he's been found near the water before.
He lives just around the corner in the neighborhood, and he's been known to wander down here to the water, come down here to the pond in times past.
Several no swimming signs are placed around the retention pond. The neighbor who witnessed everything says the pond is around 25 feet deep and has a significant drop off. She says multiple people tried to jump in to save Hudson, but the water was troubling.
And even the first responding officer, got here probably in like 60 seconds. He attempted to get in as well, but the silt and the depth just made it extremely hard.
You know, you can fish in them. You know, the HOAs in the neighborhoods set the rules on those, but majority of the time they are not for walking in, they are not for entering into personally.
My heart breaks for his family. It's somebody's kid, somebody's brother, somebody's uncle, so it's just sad.
Extremely heartbreaking, and St. Charles County Police have been in contact with Hudson's family, and they continue to emphasize that ponds like this one are not a place to swim. Live in St. Charles County, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
We are at the beginning of a stretch of very hot days. Here is a live look downtown. Temperatures are in the 90s, and it's only going to get hotter this weekend. Meteorologist Gary Frank is here with the Weather First forecast, the bearer of bad news, unless you like the heat.
Yeah, I know. There's a fine line of heat, and all right, it's too hot, right? There's like 3 levels, and you know, we're going to at least be on, maybe we'll call it level 1 for now. We've had our 3rd straight day of 90-degree weather. This is a nice summer day, and as we have less humid air, that's okay. We have no clouds in the skies. You just look down Market Street and you look down this view. The wind has picked up a little bit, but it's at least from a different direction. That's at least positive. Out of the northwest at 13 miles an hour, it's down from 90. And what you'll notice, the feels like reading 88. It's less than the actual temperature, so that's a positive news. We're going to continue to see quiet conditions this evening as temperatures fall, but the dew points are going to be down tomorrow. That's positive, but then it gets humid and even hotter. The hottest day of the year so far when we reach 100 degrees, and why we'll probably see it more than once.
Thanks, Gary. We're getting a closer look at the St. Louis Zoo's major expansion, Wildcare Park.
Crews at the 425-acre site in Spanish Lake are hard at work. They're building barns, they're installing fencing. 5 on your side's Tracy Hinson got a tour.
Here's what we got to see.
The animals behind us are the critically endangered Addax antelope that are only found in the Sahara Desert.
These fantastically horned animals are some of the first to live at Wildcare Park.
Right now we have 17 animals at Wildcare Park, and our population is growing every week,
including this little one.
By 2027 we will have 250 animals.
The fly-through just released shows how guests will get to see the animals.
We're going to do our best to mimic an African safari. We're going to put you in a truck and drive you through the safari.
But wait, there is indeed more.
And then they'll get a on-foot safari, which they'll be inside of a covered area with kangaroos and wallabies.
But before all that fun, it has to be built.
I think we've been working on this for so many years, but to see it come to life, see the vision become reality. You can see we have 10 barns up and running.
We're standing in an area you're probably never going to stand in because the animals will be here. This is one of the many climate-controlled barns at Wildcare Park.
We'll be filling them with animals and getting ready for opening day.
But not just any animals that truly need the support of the St. Louis Zoo.
Having Wildcare Park come on board right now and complementing the work that the St. Louis Zoo is already doing is going to allow us to really step up our game in terms of conservation.
Conservation through breeding and education.
I hope they realize that this is going to be a world-class safari park, and they will be able to experience our animals from a very different perspective out on safari.
Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
We're told the St. Louis Zoo's Wildcare Park is on track to open in 2027. Still ahead, Schnucks truck drivers getting the word out about their plea for a new contract, what the union wants and when the two sides will meet.
Plus, a disturbing trend in small-town Missouri. You'd be shocked to know how common it is for police in St. Genevieve to pull bodies from the Mississippi River.